Game 3 of a Game 4 road trip up here in the city of Kenai, as both teams have each taken a game. Bucs started off their road trip with a 9-8 win in extra innings, and yesterday a much less exciting result for them. Lost 16-6 in 7 innings, got run ruled their first time this season. That's happened, and a lot to look back on and pick up. Try to take a quote-unquote series lead here against the Oilers. I'm Jake Sloan, joined by Ren Grimsley. We'll be on the broadcast today and every game this season, as we're just a couple of minutes away from first pitch. Ren, you want to give us a look ahead at the starting lineups?
Absolutely, Jake. Starting off with the opponent, the Peninsula Oilers. It's going to be Mark Nellis back in the lineup at center field. He'll be leading off. And second will be Brooks Hassan-Cleaver out in right field. Batting third, Luke Lesky, the first baseman, who we've seen DH up until this point. Batting cleanup is Carson McCormack, the left fielder. At 5 is Owen Musil, the DH. 6 is going to be Reed Oakley playing catcher. And the bottom 3 starting with Sammy Lopez at second base. Batting 8th is Shane Cannon at shortstop. And 9th will be Luke Skinner at the hot corner. And pitching for the Oilers will be Cody Smathers.
Yeah, Smathers, his last time out, through 5 innings of just 1-run ball against the Glacier Pilots. That was the only game that the Oilers lost against the Pilots. And now sit at 5-2 on the season after yesterday's win. We'll take a look at the Bucs lineup.
For your Anchorage Bucs, it will be Camden Lanphier, shortstop, leading things off, has the past several games. Batting second will be Finn Leach, the second baseman. Third is going to be Drew Raymond in right field. At cleanup will be Hank Smith, the first baseman. We've seen him in that cleanup spot every game he's been in. Fifth will be Ryan Dara, the left fielder. Sixth, Hayden Miller at third base. Ty Denton for his second straight game in at catcher. Eighth is going to be Carson Umphris in the DH. And ninth is A.J. Garcia, who ended his hitless streak yesterday, and he'll be in center field. And pitching for the Anchorage Bucs is going to be Jonah Fragus, who his last time out against the Miners had 2 runs, 3 hits in 5 innings pitched. So certainly a very, very excellent outing from Fragus his last time up, hoping to see that again today.
Yeah, neither one of those runs were earned, so his ERA stays at triple zeros. And for the first time this season, Luke Taylor is not featured in the starting lineup. Got hit by a pitch on the wrist yesterday, is being kept out of today's game. His status for tomorrow still up in the air, depending on how badly that pitch hit and where exactly, if it was on the bone or more on the tendon. We'll have to wait and see for that. But for the Bucs today, it was, through 5 innings, a great outing. They led 4-1, and then over the next 2 frames, they gave up 15 combined runs. And for each inning, it was kind of 2 different kind of innings. First one, Cade Berghardt could not find the strike zone and gave up a plethora of walks and hit a few batters. That wound up in 8 runs given up. And then Luke Ivanoff came on the mound, and he could find nothing but the strike zone. But unfortunately for him, the Oilers were hitting beach balls, it seemed like. Could not miss anytime they swung the bat, and resulted in a very quick ending to the game and completely caught the Bucs off guard. All of that happened, like I said, in just 2 innings. So a lot of work to be done here in today's game to try and bounce back from their most embarrassing loss of the season.
Yeah, the Bucs entered that 5th inning up 4-1 before giving up 8 runs there in the bottom. And then it felt like they might be able to come back just a little bit, at least closing the gap by scoring 2 more in the top of the 6th, but a 7 spot put up in the bottom of that inning. That was unfortunately the nail in the coffin for the Bucs once they weren't able to get any runs back in the top of the 7th, and that would be the game on a run rule.
So the Oilers take the field. Their defense looks like this in the outfield. Left field, it'll be Carson McCormack at center, Mark Nellis, and Brooks Hassan-Cleaver in right. The infield reading from left to right, Luke Skinner at third, Shane Cannon at short, Sammy Lopez at second base, Luke Lusky Over at first, behind the dish will be Reed Oakley, and Smathers up on the mound. First batter that Smathers faces will be Camden Lanfear here in just a couple of minutes. Seems like the biggest thing for the Bucs right now is to have another one of those hot starts. They have done that in both of the first two games. Obviously, the bullpen was only able to help and keep the lead in one of those games, but not the other one. Is National Anthem will get underway. We'll be right back after this. So it'll be Camden Lanfear to lead things off. He's been the leadoff man for several games now. Biggest change in this batting order is Finn Leach jumping all the way up to the 2-hole. Yesterday batted 6, just went 1 for 4 with a single. So
Yeah, and with Luke Taylor out, they felt like they had something going with Camden Lanfear, Drew Raymond, and Luke Taylor batting in that 1-2-3 spot. And the great thing about Luke Taylor was his versatility. I guess it still is. I don't think he'll be out for any extended period of time. But he could play catcher, first base. Yesterday, DH'd with Ty Denton in at catcher, and Hank Smith, who's solidified himself as a first baseman. Now they'll see how Finn Leach does in that 2 spot. He adds nice versatility in terms of which side the pitcher has to throw to. Camden Lanfear being right-handed, and then Finn Leach and Drew Raymond both left-handed batters. So throwing a little something different at the pitcher can certainly mess up his rhythm, and we might see that here with Smathers today.
yeah, Smathers, the right-hander on the mound. Just finished up his sophomore year at Cal Baptist University. We've seen the Oilers throw multiple arms from CBU on the mound, as well as have a couple position players on that team. Seemed like a school that they saw a lot of prospects that they liked during the college baseball season. Smathers with a 1.8 ERA on the year. Made 12 appearances for Cal Baptist through 19 innings, struck out 25 and walked 13.
Yeah, Cal Baptist really bought into the Alaska Baseball League this season, as John Carlson, who started yesterday, also a member of the Cal Baptist University.
A lot of players from the sunny state of California made it up here where there's nothing but the sun. Camden Lanfear takes the first pitch he sees over towards shortstop. The throw from Cannon, though, not in time. So Lanfear legs out the infield single on the first pitch of the game.
Saw that yesterday from Cannon at shortstop. He just takes a little bit too much time, and certainly if you're going to take that much time to get the ball into your hand from the glove, you can't bounce it onto the dirt. Got to deliver a nice throw over there, and so with Lanfear's speed, an easy first pitch single.
So the leadoff man reaches safely for Finn Leach as he takes first pitch in the zone for a strike. Lanfear went 9 for 10 on the base pass at Central Arizona this past season of college ball. Is 1 for 1 here in the ABL.
Yesterday we saw Lanfear get picked off at first after a single. So far has not checked over to first base. Likely will, as they know they can get some success doing that.
Guess that would technically make him 1 for 2. I'm sure they score the pickoff as a attempt. Smathers will look over at first where Lanfear is before delivering the 1-1 to Leach down low for ball 2. Leach didn't see a whole lot of action in his freshman year at Arizona State. Just 11 games. Left-handed batter trying to have some more film here in the summer. Breaking ball drops in there to even the count at 2 apiece. Smathers looking for his first out of the top of the first.
Leach with a very different approach from Lanfear, as we saw Lanfear swing immediately, putting the ball into play. Leach has stayed back a little patient, let Smathers run up the count a little bit.
2-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. Breaking ball in the dirt had him fooled, so it's the first out of the first frame. Lanfear awaits on first to see his fate. That will bring up the right-hander, Andrew Raymond. He's played in every game that he has been in the state of Alaska for. Flew in on Sunday and has seen action every day since. Takes the first pitch inside for ball 1.
He had 2 RBIs in yesterday's game as well as 2 walks, so reached safely every time he stepped up to the plate and has been a great addition offensively to the Bucs.
Fouls that one away for strike 1. His first day went 3 for 4. Followed that up with an 0 for 4 performance, but since then he has been on fire. Has a runner on, with Lanfear still over there at first. As the runner goes on the 1-1, and the catcher, Reed Oakley, can't make the play. Tried to pop up out of his stance, but lost the ball in his glove in the process, so it's another stolen base for Lanfear, and a runner in scoring position early for the Bucs.
Lanfear had a great jump, but we have seen Reed Oakley hose some guys down at second. We saw that in the first game. Would have been interesting to see if he could have gotten that throw off and gotten out Lanfear.
Threw out a pair of batters on Tuesday. Did not play in yesterday's game, though, as Raymond now with a 3-1 count. Lanfear moves up into scoring position. Raymond trying to bring him home. Here comes the 3-1. That's swung on and missed for strike 2. So the count runs full to Raymond. Just finished up his sophomore year at Santa Clara. Trying to give a early run here for the Bucs. Here comes the payoff pitch from Smathers. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks. And now there's 2 gone in the first. So after the leadoff man reaches, Smathers responds by getting a pair of strikeouts, trying to strand that runner. We'll see if Hank Smith has anything to say about that. Is not reached safely so far, but he's had a lot of hard hit outs in the first 2 games of his summer with the Bucs.
And if you look at the lineup, we have now 3 left-handed batters in a row, likely to counter the right-handed pitcher in Smathers. Helps that Luke Taylor, who is a right-handed batter, is not in the lineup today, so that makes a pretty easy decision to get the guys that we want where we need them.
Smith yet to take the bat off his shoulder here in this at-bat with a 2-0 count. Hasn't seen anything close to the plate just yet. Takes ball 3 down low, and so far an easy at-bat for Smith, the first baseman. Had an RBI sac fly yesterday. Lanford dancing over there at second base as the 3-0 from Smathers finds the strike zone for the first time this at-bat. Cannon, the shortstop, is the fielder playing closest to second base if Smathers wants to throw back, but he doesn't, and that one's lifted into right center field. Nellis calls off Hasencleaver and makes the catch for out number 3. So Lanfear legs out an infield single to start things off, but the furthest he gets is second base. Now the Oilers will have their first shot at the plate when we come back. It'll be Mark Nellis to lead things off for the Oilers as the Bucs defenders reads as this in the outfield. It's Dara, Garcia, and Raymond from left to right, and it's Miller, Lanfear, Leach, and Smith from left to right in the infield with Ty Denton behind the plate and Jonah Fragus on the mound. First offering to Nellis is in there for strike 1. Nellis played in game 1, did not play yesterday, had an off day, and now is back as the leadoff batter.
I was a little surprised to not see Nellis in the lineup yesterday. Had 2 singles, a walk, reached on an error, and 3 RBIs in total. He was a huge part of the offense. Came up a little short that game, however, didn't really need him yesterday, it seems.
Yeah, I was going to say, they obviously did not need him. The 0-2 is slider that runs low and outside for ball 1. Seems like the most important things for the Bucs here is to find some type of groove on the mound that they couldn't find yesterday, and that's a way to start it with a swing and a miss for strike 3. So an early strikeout for Fragus to start things off in the bottom half of the first. That'll bring up Brooks Hasencleaver, the right fielder. Hassan Cleaver has batted in the 2-hole every single time. Excuse me, he was in cleanup yesterday. Drew a pair of walks in, hit a single. He later came around to score on all 3 of those plate appearances as he takes ball 1 down low. Next offering from Fragus is a fastball that finds the strike zone to even up the count. Miller, the third baseman, playing a little closer compared to the rest of the infielders, with Hassan Cleaver being a left-handed batter. Not expecting as much as the other infielders. That pitch from Fragus can't reach the inside part of the plate. It will be ball 2 for a 2-1 hitter's count.
Just a little low, and this is the part of the game where Fragus is really trying to find the strike zone with the umpire. Every umpire is a little bit different in terms of what they see. So trying to get what he can get here that he can use the rest of the game.
That one was fouled into the glove of Denton for strike 2. Fragus trying to start off strong here with a pair of punch-outs. Shakes off a few pitches from Denton before finally agreeing. One is 2-2 check swing that Hassan Cleaver did not go on, so he's able to hold off and force a full count. It's the perks of having 3 umpires here. You've got one behind home plate and one down both lines. Every check swing will have an appeal, as the payoff pitch from Fragus is swung on and missed, no doubt about that one, and it's back-to-back strikeouts to start Fragus' appearance on the mound.
Yeah, great start for Jonah Fragus. However, it has been 2-out rallies that have been detrimental to the Bucs this season. Would like to go ahead and stay aggressive here with Luke Lusky, who was their DH the past 2 games. Now coming in at first base. A shorter stature, so a smaller strike zone. See what Fragus can do here.
Lusky fouls off the first pitch he sees for strike 1, standing at 5'10", 230 pounds, so a lot of power behind his swing. And like you said, a smaller strike zone compared to most of his teammates. Quick 2 outs from Fragus, trying for a 1-2-3 inning here, as check swing went all the way around for strike 2 to Lusky. Lusky realized far too late that he did not like that pitch. Fragus trying to record a hat trick of strikeouts. He'll have to wait, though, as 0-2 offering is upstairs for ball 1. Fragus trying to find his pitch from Denton. He does. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Called strike 3 on the check swing. A 1-2-3 inning by the way of a punch out from Fragus. And he strikes out the side to keep the first frame at 0-0. We'll have the Bucs back up at the top of the second when we come back. Neither team able to strike first in the first frame, so Ryan Dar will lead things off for the Bucs in the top of the second. Had an RBI single yesterday. He's played in every game for the Bucs so far. The first pitch to him is inside for ball one. 1-0 delivery is chopped foul along the first baseline to even things up at one apiece.
And Dara, excellent as a leadoff hitter. He moved from the leadoff spot down to fifth, but leading off here in this inning, we know what his speed is capable of when he's on the base paths. Would love to see him get on base and go ahead and establish some pressure on Smathers.
Yeah, 3 of his hits yesterday, 2 of them did not leave the outfield, legged out an infield single and then reached on an error his next time up as the 2-1 is inside for ball 3. Dar trying to become the second leadoff batter to reach base safely. He can't there, though, as the pitch is inside for strike 2. Dara tossed his bat over towards the Bucs dugout, thinking that was an easy ball 4. He'll have to go back and pick it up now.
I thought it might be a little inside, hard to tell from our angle. Might have called a check swing. Either way, a full count.
Smathers with another payoff pitch. That one's upstairs for ball 4, so Dar's premature bat toss to not come back to bite him. He'll reach with a walk to start things off in the top of the second.
As they say, ball don't lie.
That'll bring up Hayden Miller, who was able to hit himself out of a 5-game hitless streak yesterday with a single into left field. Now has a runner on with Dar at first. First pitch is inside for ball 1. Almost hit Miller, who's already been hit by a pitch 3 times here in the early going of the season. One-0 downstairs for ball 2. Miller not seeing a whole lot yet, not having to be too aggressive. Talked about how much speed Dar has. 2-0 count doesn't usually warrant a stolen base, but with his speed, doesn't really seem a bad pitch to go on. 2-0 down low for ball 3. Smathers now in danger of walking the first 2 batters he faces in the second. Gives a look over to first at Dara. Now he'll stand in and pitch ball 4 to Miller, who draws a 4-pitch walk, and now it's a pair of runners on for Ty Denton, still with nobody out in the inning.
And the first time in the game that the Bucs have had a runner in scoring position. Looks like that'll warrant a mound visit here for the Oilers.
Bucs got off to a hot start in each of the last 2 games. Scored 4 runs in the first 3 innings in game 1, 2 in the first 3 in game 2. Oilers trying to avoid falling behind early. It'll just be a quick meeting between their head coach and catcher with Smathers. Oakley now finally comes off the mound after the home plate umpire sped things up. So it'll be Ty Denton that steps in with an early RBI chance.
Ty Denton had a clutch hit in the 10th inning back 2 days ago. I was able to help get a 1-run victory for the Bucs. And he's been great defensively as well. Only one other catcher other than him and Luke Taylor, and it's Lucas Perez, who we've not seen behind the dish. He's only come in pitching as well as in the DH spot. So Denton is their guy between him and Luke Taylor.
It's now 7 straight balls from Smathers. Is Denton now looking at a 2-0 count. Both pitches have missed so far to him. A fastball and a slider both down low. Next offering from Smathers is in there for strike 1. He's finally able to find the zone. Denton still with a 2-1 hitters count though. Dara over at second, Miller on first, both speedsters on the base paths. Here comes the 2-1. That's a check swing that is a wild pitch and falls all the way out of play. Hopped all the way over the netting, so it's a wild pitch that only advances the runners once. Denton went around on the check swing, so it's a 2-2 count, but both the runners move up a base.
It looked initially like it went off his bat. However, it just spiked down at the tail end of the pitch and bounced off the dirt probably harder than I've ever. You would think this was turf, the way it bounced off and came into the crowd here. It should feel safe behind the net.
Denton swings and misses on that one for strike 3, so Smathers is able to get his first out, but still stares at 2 runners in scoring position as Carson Umphris steps up to the plate.
Umphris came in yesterday for Luke Taylor after Taylor got hit by a pitch. And Umphris recording a hit for the first time since opening day.
Had that single in the right field like you said yesterday. Takes ball 1 upstairs. A chance to break the scoreless tie in the second. Here comes a 1-0 from Smathers. Drops that slider in there to even up the count at 1-1. Umphris from Great Bend, Texas. Just played his true freshman year at Northeast Texas Community College. He swings and misses for strike 2. Smathers was in a dangerous situation with runners on second and third with no one out as a strike away from recording back-to-back strikeouts. So delivery from him is down low for ball 2.
That looked very similar to the strike 1 pitch on Umphris.
Was there a balk call? I don't know. If there's a balk call, that foul ball shouldn't count against the batter. Yeah, I don't know.
Here comes the 2-2 to Umphris. Called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate, so Umphris goes down looking for out number 2.
That's a good battle back from Smathers, who, since he's thrown several balls, especially first pitch balls, that have been way outside, then the next pitch he can just deliver one right down the middle for a strike, and usually the batters haven't been swinging so far. That's what's allowed him to work his way back into the count, and as you see here, his 4th strikeout in the game so far.
Now A.J. Garcia steps up and takes ball 1 down low. There's also a guy that broke a hitless streak yesterday with a single. Could come up big with a hit here. 1-0 to him is hit foul behind home plate to even up the count.
And Garcia struggled to even make contact for a while there. He eventually, yesterday, put one into the outfield for an out before finally recording that long-awaited hit he had been waiting for in a few games.
1-1 is hit foul along the first baseline for strike 2. Smathers now just a strike away from getting himself out of what was once a precarious situation. Righty on lefty matchup As the 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts to strand the 2 runners on second and third. And the game will remain scoreless heading into the bottom of the second. So both times the Bucs have been up to bat, they've left runners on. Still no runs to show for it. As Carson McCormack takes a swing at the first pitch he sees into right center field. And the center fielder, Andrew Garcia, calls off Raymond at the very last minute to make the play and avoid a collision. It's the first ball put in play by the Oilers, who were struck out all 3 times in the bottom of the first. So now the designated hitter, Owen Musil, steps in. First offering to him is a breaking ball that freezes him and lands in the strike zone for strike 1.
Expecting that fastball down the middle, and he saw it come out of his hand a little slow. Just couldn't quite decide what to do, and making a hitter think is one of the worst things for a batter, best thing for a pitcher in terms of making them make a decision. So excellent first pitch from Fragus.
So now a 1-1 count to Musil, who did not play in yesterday's game, played in the first game. As pops that one up into right field, into foul territory goes Raymond, and he's there to make the catch for out number 2. Back-to-back flyouts for the Oilers. And now a quick 2 outs for Fragus. So that'll bring up the catcher, Reed Oakley, who also did not play in yesterday's game after starting the opening game. First offering to him is a slider that dips out of the zone for ball 1. Fragus able to find the strike zone on that fastball to even up the count to the catcher, Oakley. Trying to retire the first 6 batters he has faced. Is a strike at the knees moves the count to 1-2.
Would love to see Fragus get as much action as he can get. It's really been the bullpen that has been the root of a lot of the Bucs' problems. As many innings and pitches as he can throw without getting hurt.
That one was a check swing that came in play. Finn Leach tried to barehand it, but was unable to field it cleanly, so the first base runner is Reed Oakley for the Oilers on an infield single.
And that came off pretty much the handle of his bat. One of the slower moving balls you'll see come off the bat over to Finn Leach. Unfortunately, Fragus not able to get there in time to it in order to make a play. And the first base runner for the Oilers is aboard.
So it will be scored as a single. First hit of the day for the Oilers. Now Sammy Lopez steps in and swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Yeah, that last pitch rode in on Oakley, who, if he stood in there, probably would have hit him. But he had already started his swing, so an interesting play results in the first base runner for the Oilers. Next offering to Lopez is down low for ball one. The runner goes, and he is safe. An odd play there is Denton seemingly didn't see that Oakley was running. It was a very late steal attempt.
He got off a pretty decent throw. Had he been able to just notice it a little bit sooner, likely would have been able to hose down Oakley at second.
So the runner moves into scoring position with a 1-1 count to Lopez. Next pitch is hit over towards first and fielded cleanly by Hank Smith. He'll wave off Fragus and step on the bag himself for out number 3. So Lopez is not able to advance Oakley, and Fragus strands the runner at second. No score here through 2 frames on the Bucs YouTube channel. Lineup shifts back to the top to lead things in the third as Camden Landfair, who singled his first time up to lead things off in the game, is back at the plate for the second time. First time he takes a pitch is a slider in the zone for strike one.
He swung at the first pitch he saw in the game for a single. That's the first pitch he has taken.
Landfair hits that one up the middle. A sliding stop from the from the second baseman Lopez. Kept it in the infield, but Landfair was basically at first base by the time he got the throw off. So another infield single for Landfair and another leadoff batter for the third time that reaches safely for the Bucs.
And that's exactly what you want from your leadoff hitter. They say you want speed, which is definitely true, and Landfair has that. But one of the things that a lot of MLB teams are wanting more than anything from their leadoff is a guy who gets on base. And as you see, Lamphere with a excellent on-base percentage as he's reached twice safely today.
Now Finn Leach steps in and takes ball one down low. Lamphere stole second his first time sitting on first base. We'll look to see if he does the same again. As the 1-0 to Leach is off-speed pitch that finds its way into the zone for strike one. So Lamphere is the only Buck to record a hit so far. The last two base runners that reached in the second came off of a pair of walks. He just hits that one over towards first, fielded cleanly by Lusky. His throw over to second is in time, but they cannot convert the double play, so it's an eye for an eye trade-off. One out in the inning, but a runner on first remains.
And that's a really good play from the infielders for the Oilers. It all starts with Luke Lusky and fielding that ball cleanly, and then the middle infielders getting to second base immediately. Great awareness and getting back to first. Unfortunately for the Oilers, not for the Bucs, Finn Leach reaches safely.
Andrew Raymond swings and misses at the first pitch he sees, a changeup down in the dirt. So with the runner on first, a double play remains available if Raymond hits a grounder. 0-1 to him, though, is on the outer part of the plate for strike two. Raymond struck out swinging his first time up. The 0-2 to him is upstairs for ball one. Infielders playing at regular depth, with the first baseman Lusky keeping Leach there from getting a sizable lead. So now back-to-back balls from Smathers evens the count.
Raymond's been a guy who's often taken pitches more than he swings at them. And that can get him in some trouble sometimes. He struck out his last time up, but reached on a walk twice yesterday.
Swings and misses at that one, though. Another pitch way down in the dirt. So his first two plate appearances of today result in strikeouts, and that one being the second out of the inning. Now Hank Smith steps up after flying out to center his first time up. Left-handed batter has shown an immense amount of power, but doesn't have a base hit to show for it as he swings and misses at strike one below the zone. Oh, 1 to him, misses outside to even up the count as Leach over at first will get back out to his lead. One to Smith is hit sharply up the middle and into right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Leach advancing over to third. So the first base hit of Hank Smith's Bucs career extends the third inning, and that'll give Ryan Dara a chance to record the first RBI of the game.
Excellent to see Hank Smith finally get that hit, like you said. He's been a guy who's also been excellent defensively for the Bucs as he stepped into that first base spot, which was taken up by Carson Umphris whenever Luke Taylor was at the catching position. And Umphris not really a natural first baseman. So good to see Hank Smith, who's a little more comfortable there, taking it up.
First offering to Dara is swung on and missed for strike one. The Bucs have been very aggressive here to start the game, but that's also resulted in them striking out 6 times. Dara led off the second inning with a walk. The 0-1 to him drops in there for strike 2. Bucs trying to extend the inning with runners on the corners. Dara, though, looking at a 0-2 count, trying to avoid being the 7th Buck to strike out. 0-2. It's exactly what happens for strike 3. So the runners get stranded on the corners the second time in a row that the Bucs have left a pair of runners stranded on the base pass. Heading back onto the mound will be Jonah Fragus. Still no runs scored here through 2.5. So the Bucs unable to break the scoreless tie through 3 attempts so far. And Oilers in their third attempt here in the bottom of the third is Shane Cannon, the shortstop, will lead things off for them with Jonah Fragus on the mound. First offering to Cannon upstairs for ball 1.
Fergus had 2 very different innings. That first inning struck out the side, 3 straight swinging strikeouts. The second inning, 2 pop-outs, 1 to center, 1 to right, before giving up a single to Oakley. And then another ball put into play, but grounded out over to Hank Smith at first base. Only given up 1 hit so far.
Strong showing from both pitchers here in the early goings is 1-1 is a check swing that I think it was called strike 2.
I think it tipped off his bat just a little bit, went straight down. Ever no real signal from the umpire, it doesn't seem.
Definitely looked like strike 2. I think that will be the call. That it is, as the umpire shows 2 fingers on his right hand. As Fragus delivers, called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. His 4th strikeout of the game and the first out of the bottom of the third.
His first strikeout looking, just a slow off-speed pitch delivered to the inside. Stuns Shane Cannon really well. And not even all the way through the lineup here against the Oilers.
So his 4th strikeout is his first looking. That'll bring up Luke Skinner, the third baseman. Today's 9-hole hitter, bunt attempt that he pulls back on it. Still landed in the zone, though, for strike one. Now Hayden Miller, the third baseman, on high alert. His toes right in front of the infield grass if Skinner decides to try and bunt again. Fragus will kick and deal on the 0-1. A big swing and miss from Skinner. And another 0-2 count for Fragus.
I'm curious, other than just taking that first strike, what made Skinner decide not to continue the bunt attempt and go for the swing?
0-2 misses down low for ball one. And you wonder if that was the doing of the head coach of the Oilers, maybe trying to just cause some chaos, or maybe it might have been Skinner's doing. But either way, a 1-2 count to him, and the fastball misses down low to even things up. Skinner also played in Tuesday's game but did not play yesterday. Sophomore from Bradley University. Is 2-2 is popped up high, but that will land out of play. So Skinner able to stay alive. Only hitting at a 125 mark, just 1 for 8 here in 4 games of action. He struck out 6 times. Fragus trying to make that a 7th with the 2-2 count here. Swung on and missed. For strike 3. That's number 5 for Fragus after his first trip through the lineup, which will go back to the top to Mark Nellis.
Both these pitchers with big strikeout totals so far. Obviously, we didn't see this game break open yesterday until the 5th inning, but a little surprising how strong these pitchers have come out and how weak the offenses have been so far.
Slider from Fragus just misses inside for ball one to Nellis, who struck out swinging his first time around to lead things off for the Oilers. It's that one foul and out of play down the right field line. That'll even up the count at 1-1. Just one hit for the Oilers, and that was an infield single from Oakley on what was a check swing. So not a whole lot of offense for the Oilers so far. So the 1-1 misses down low for ball two. Fragus behind in the count 2-1. We've not said that too often here today. Check swing there from Nellis is right over to the first baseman, Hank Smith, who calmly steps on the bag, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Fragus, who is dealing early. Still a scoreless tie here through the first third of regulation. Bucs will lead things off in the top of the 4th with their 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters. The third baseman Hayden Miller lead things off for the Bucs here in the top of the fourth. Still waiting to see if the 0-0 tie will be broken and by who. Miller drew a walk his first time up as slider from Smathers starts outside and comes back inside for strike one. Next offering from him is swung on and missed. That slider broke way outside. Miller now behind 0-2. We've seen him fall into this type of hole before, trying to work his way out of it this time. That one is hit foul along the third baseline to keep Miller alive in the at-bat. Smathers looking for strikeout number 8 here. As the check swing looked like it hit Miller, but not sure if that's what they're going to call.
Yeah, it came in right on his hands. He reacted pretty heavily immediately after, and now is showing the umpire, I assume, the blemish on his hand.
He's taken off all his gear. There has not been a point to first base by the home plate umpire just yet. If he swings and it hits him, it's considered strike 3. I don't think that's the call, though. If that's the case, Miller would likely have gone back to the dugout. Now he's
showing how much it hurts, I guess.
Yeah. So the hit by pitch will be the call, and now he jogs over to first. The second day in a row that the Bucs batter has taken a pitch right inside on the hands. So Miller reaches first safely, though he paid the price for it. Now Ty Denton will step up to the plate.
Just hope it doesn't affect his throwing hand and still make that long throw from third base.
Fastball from Smathers misses down and away for ball 1. Miller was speedy on the base pass over at Bradley. Stole 23 bases, has only stolen 1 here for the Bucs. The fastball on the 1-0 count misses down low again for ball 2. Be interesting to see how aggressive the Bucs are with Oakley behind the dish. He threw out a couple batters on Tuesday. Doesn't seem to be a reason to send Miller here, though, as 3 straight balls to Ty Denton.
Yeah, and Miller not known on the team necessarily for his speed on the base paths, but maybe that's the exact approach, is to lure them into a sense of comfort and then send Miller.
Smathers takes the 3-0 and just pounds the zone with a fastball right down the middle of the plate there for strike 1, as we've seen so often this season. Now Denton trying to protect the plate with a 3-1 count. That one rides way inside, and that hits him. Would have been ball 4 either way, but Denton wears it on his sleeve, and a couple of base runners on to start things here in the 4th.
2 hit by pitches, and now with no outs in the inning, the Bucs have left 2 runners on base. The past 2 innings, left 1 in the first inning, so 5 total runners left on base. Would love to see them just get 1 here and go ahead and get on the board.
First struck out looking his first time up. Watches ball 1, though, in the dirt. Umphris had a strong start in the box, went 3 for 4 opening day, but has not seen the same production since. On the season now has .231 batting average. Check swing on the 1-0 did not go, and the pitch gets away from Oakley as both base runners will advance on the wild pitch.
It's the second wild pitcher. First one might have been a passed ball from Smathers, not really sure, or not a passed ball from Smathers, but from catcher Reed Oakley. Either way, taking second and third for the second time in the game warrants another mound visit here.
Some early control issues for Smathers.
Both times on the ball that ends up at the backstop, it's been those breaking balls that have just taken a nosedive at the tail end of the pitch, and the catcher, Oakley, hasn't been able to get a hold of them.
So Smathers will stay on the mound after a quick visit from his fellow teammates and his coach. Seeing some action from a right-hander in the bullpen. Doesn't seem fully warmed up, though, so Smathers will likely finish out this inning, barring a meltdown from him. So 2-0 count to Umphris. That fastball just misses down low for ball 3.
Oakley tried to frame it there at the bottom of the zone. Won't get the call from the umpire. Several balls in a row here from Smathers.
3-0 misses for ball 4, so that will load the bases with still nobody out here in the top of the 4th. And now A.J. Garcia steps up to the plate with a big opportunity here to break the scoreless tie.
He's one of the only players in the Alaskan Baseball League with a home run. And with no outs here in the inning, a chance to do some work.
First pitch to him is a fastball in the dirt for ball 1. A homer would be a tall task for him with the depth of this field and the height of the outfield walls. It's 387 feet to straightaway center field. 1-0 taken down low for ball 2, but hasn't really needed to swing the bat yet. And after 7 strikeouts through 3 innings, Smathers has started to slow down here. Next offering to Garcia is hit into shallow left field. McCormack is there to make the catch. The runner will tag up from third. The throw not in time. So an RBI sac fly scores Hayden Miller from third, and it's the first run of this game and only the first out of the 4th inning.
It's exactly what A.J. Garcia needed to do. Just put one into the outfield deep enough that the throw couldn't be sent home. Scores a run for the Bucs. We've seen the Bucs with a lead. Saw it yesterday, 4-1, right before giving up 8.
So now a quick visit to the mound by Reed Oakley. We've seen a lot of trips up there from different people just trying to calm Smathers, and talked about how many strikeouts he had, 7 through 3, but a lot of those strikeouts were pitches that the Bucs chased out of the zone. They've held up here a lot more. That's resulted in a run and a lot of base runners. I think this may be it for Smathers. Another mound visit, the second one of this inning, and that will mark the end of his outing. Just 3 innings pitched, responsible for the 2 runners aboard. And another right-hander will take the mound for the Oilers. We'll have more on him after this break. So Evan Cineris takes the mound for the Oilers in place of Smathers. Smathers still responsible for Denton on second and Umphris on first. Only one out here in the inning as the lineup comes back to the top for the third time already to Camden Lanphier. He singled in the infield both times so far. An opportunity to drive in a couple more runs here with the Bucs already tacking on one with a sac fly from A.J. Garcia. Takes a swing at the first pitch he sees over to shortstop. Tosses to second, but the throw to first is not in time, so Lanphier beats out the throw, and the inning continues with runners on the corners.
Lanphier swinging at the first pitch again. This time able to beat out the throw. However, they do get the out at second, which they will gladly trade the safe for.
So now Finn Leach steps in. Runner just 90 feet away. That's Ty Denton. We've already seen the speed of Camden Lanphier. He stole a bag in the first inning, tested the arm of Reed Oakley. The first pitch from Cineris is outside for ball one. Cineris just finished up his freshman year at UC San Diego. Made 3 appearances, gave up 5 runs in 7 2/3 innings. Is making his debut for the Oilers here today. Second offering to Leach is inside for ball 2. Leach has struck out looking and reached on a fielder's choice. Still looking for his first base hit of the evening.
This could be a situation where he just got here a few days ago, like Raymond for the Bucs, Hank Smith, a guy like that. But either way, a guy that the Bucs really have no information on outside of his college stats.
Has a very wide delivery. Arm kind of coming at a sidearm angle. Has not worked against Leach here so far. The 3-0 misses down low for ball 4. So once again, the bases are loaded for Andrew Raymond.
And the Bucs might need all the runs they can get later in the game when that call to the bullpen is eventually made, as the Bucs have the worst ERA in the Alaskan Baseball League. So if they can get as much work done here with bases loaded as they can, that will be huge for later in the game.
Raymond has not been as patient today as he was yesterday. Already has a pair of swinging strikeouts. Walked twice and singled yesterday, though. As the base is loaded here with 2 gone in the top of the 4th. First 2 pitches from Cineris are a ball and a strike apiece. Here comes the 1-1 from Cineris. That one just missing outside for ball 2.
Raymond yet to swing. Obviously has 2 swinging strikeouts so far. And we've seen Cineris struggle a little bit with control. He's given up a walk already.
2-1 misses down low for ball 3. And after striking out 7 times in the first 3 innings, the Bucs have smartly not chased outside of the zone whatsoever here in the 4th. And that's resulted in 2 walks and a pair of hit by pitches. Raymond with a 3-1 count. Takes a strike on the inside corner to run the count full.
Yet to lift the shoulder off, the bat off his shoulder. See what he does here on a full count. It might be a pitch time decision.
Payoff pitch coming from Cineris. The runners will all steal, and they will not have to, as ball 4 runs inside, and that will score Denton from third. Bucs now leading 2-0. So 2 straight walks from Cineris. And that'll bring up Hank Smith, who is proved to be dangerous. One of 2 hits for the Bucs so far today. Had 2 outs yesterday that were just a couple feet from being home runs. First pitch to him is fouled behind home plate and into the netting for strike 1. Smith, the left-handed batter, against Cineris, the righty. Here comes the 0-1. Check swing held up in time. Did not go. The count evens up at 1 apiece.
Like you mentioned, been very patient this 4th inning. Taking every ball they can get. Driving up the count against Cineris and Smathers before.
1-1 is chopped foul along the first base line for strike 2. You wonder how the first 3 innings would have went if the Bucs stayed as patient as they were right here. Biggest thing for Smith is to protect the plate. Don't reach out of the zone. Cineris now in control of this at-bat. 1-2 to Smith. Fastball way outside. Smith smartly lays off to even the count back up. Waiting on deck is Ryan Dara, wondering if he'll get a crack at things here for the 3rd straight inning. Here comes the 2-2. Hit weakly over towards second base. Lopez tries to flip it over in time, just barely beating out Smith. A good play there from the second baseman, Lopez. And the Bucs leave the bases loaded, but still able to add on a pair of runs. They lead 2-0 heading into the bottom of the 4th. So the Bucs get a pair of runs in the top half of the frame. Oilers looking to respond. It'll be Brooks Hasencleaver to lead things off in the 2-hole. Fragus remains on the mound in his 4th inning of work. Hasencleaver rips that one on a line down the right field, but it'll wind up foul for strike 1. Hasencleaver went down swinging his first time up. Fragus has retired 9 of the first 10 batters he's faced. Has no one count to Hasencleaver. He'll deliver. Fastball in there for strike 2, and once again ahead in the count with a 2-strike.
And after a long foul ball there from Hasencleaver, I think Fragus knew that he wasn't going to swing there, so just putting one right down the middle, a fastball, get strike 2.
Misses on that pitch to bring the count to 1-2. Miller, who was creeping on the 0-1 count, seeing if Hasencleaver would try to bunt, is now taking a couple steps back to normal depth as Fragus delivers the 1-2. That rides inside to even up the count.
And if you're looking for good omens, the Bucs only scored in odd innings yesterday, and they have 2 in the 4th today. So something different.
They'll take as many differences as yesterday as they can get, as that one's hit right back up the middle. Fielded by Lanfear. His throw to first is in time. A great play from Lanfear to pick that one out of the dirt and deliver a timely throw for the first out.
That was a really, really excellent play from Lanfear. Not only to dig that one up on the bounce, but momentum heading towards first base and getting off the throw in time. Oftentimes those short hoppers we've seen this season have slowed up the infielders, and they have been able to get a throw off in time. But getting out one here, huge for the Bucs.
Luke Lusky steps in and swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. Lusky was also one of 3 batters to strike out in the bottom of the first. Fastball grabs the outside part of the plate. Fragus ahead in the count 0-2 for the second straight time. Has 5 strikeouts on the day, looking for 6 here. Here comes the 0-2 from Fragus. That's hit right up the middle, and that'll wind up in center field for a 1-out single. Just the second hit given up by Fragus today. So the Oilers with a base runner here for Carson McCormack. He started off the second inning with a pop out into center field. Takes a swing at the first offering from Fragus, and that winds up behind home plate and out of play for strike 1.
Fragus has been going with the slower pitches to start. We've seen a lot of foul balls on those, and then delivers the fastball. A lot of times we'll see the fastball, then try to get him swinging with a slow one. See if he goes fastball here. No.
0-1 is popped up into shallow right field. Raymond comes under it and makes the catch for out number 2. So a quick second out. That keeps the runner at first and brings up Owen Musil, the designated hitter. Musil also flew out to right his first time up in the second inning. Stands in now with a runner on first and 2 gone. Lays off the pitch down low for ball 1. Musil played first base on Tuesday, hitting .278 on the year in his 6th game, as the runner goes and gets an easy jump and was already standing on second base by the time Denton caught that pitch. Just completely caught Fragus off guard.
Yeah, really excellent jump. He started shuffling his feet over towards second, then as soon as he saw the extended windup from Fragus, pretty much took off as he was already halfway there.
So the runner moves into scoring position for the Oilers. Just the second time today that's happened. A pickoff attempt from Fragus is not in time. Trying to catch Lowski off guard there. Count remains 1 ball and 1 strike. Frege is trying to throw 4 scoreless innings here with his ball club ahead 2-0. Gives a look over to Lusky on second before delivering the 1-1. Slider misses, low and away for ball 2. Two one is hit into shallow center field. Garcia barely has to move, though, and makes the catch for out number 3. So it's 4 scoreless put up by Fragus, who avoids letting in a run. And the Bucs lead 2-0 heading into the top of the 5th here on the Bucs YouTube. Ryan Darr leads things off here in the top of the 5th. Through 4 innings, it's been a bit of a pitcher's duel. Just 5 combined hits. A lot of walks, though, as Cineris' first pitch to Dara lands outside for ball 1. Dara's last time up, he struck out swinging, as he chops that one foul along the third baseline to even up the count. He drew a walk back in the 2nd inning, advanced all the way to third, but was stranded there. Bucs have generated base runners in every single inning. Left a lot on base, though, as that one rides all the way inside and hits Dara right on the elbow guard. It's the 3rd time the Bucs have been hit by a pitch. So leadoff man Dara is on. That'll bring up Hayden Miller, who last inning got hit by a pitch. So ever since Cineris has taken over for Smathers, he's walked a couple batters and now hit one. So face the right-handed batter, third baseman Hayden Miller, who swings and misses on the fastball for strike one. Miller was the first of 2 runs to cross home plate for the Bucs in the top of the 4th. As the 0-1 to him is swung on and missed for strike 2, now down in the hole. We've talked about it before. Finished as the 3rd most strikeouts in Division I this year with 84. Is up to 12 through 7 games with the Bucs here, trying to avoid number 13. Not able to, though. 3 straight fastballs fly right past him for strike 3 on a 3-pitch strikeout. So now stepping in is Ty Denton. He also got hit by a pitch in the last inning. Dara still over there at first. Has not tested the glove of Oakley just yet, though. With his speed, it would certainly be an interesting matchup if he decided to go. He'll go on this pitch. Oakley pops up, not in time. So Dara steals second. The pitch delivered to Denton was a strike, but a stolen base for Dara. Oakley not able to fire over to second in time, and now a runner in scoring position for the 4th straight inning for the Bucs. 0-1 upstairs to end up the count at 1 apiece as my DoorDash delivery seems to be here.
Made it back.
We have some pulled pork sandwiches here. We will have a buck mukbang in between innings and give you a rating.
Eat them on camera, maybe.
If we had enough cameras, I'm sure we could do that. We only have the one. I'm sure you guys would much rather watch the game than us eat.
Yeah, not the most options in Kenai, not especially for big groups.
Yeah,
There's been some small diners and stuff here and there, but only a few fast food places.
After the game on Tuesday, I don't think the McDonald's employees appreciated 30 baseball players coming inside 30 minutes before closing. As Denton stays alive in the count there.
The look on their faces certainly didn't show joy, to say the least.
It's hard to blame them. I felt very sorry for them. Denton with a 1-2 count. Here comes Sanaris' pitch. He's able to foul that one off and stay alive in the count. So Dara remains on second, awaiting to see if he'll advance any further. Denton trying to do that after Miller just struck out. Sanaris with a check over on second before delivering the 1-2, and that's hit foul. 3 straight foul balls for Denton.
Denton doing a great job staying in this, fouling him back. Just trying to time up these pitches correctly. Really right here, all he needs to do is to put one down in the outfield, and with Dara's speed, he can certainly come home.
The 1-2 to Denton misses for ball 2. Oakley did a great job of taking that pitch off of the hop and keeping Dara from advancing to third. He began the inning by getting hit by a pitch, then stole second. Sanaris looks over once again before delivering the 2-2. That's hit on a line down left field. Just wind up foul, though, by a couple feet.
That was what Denton was looking for, and the hit he was hoping just a little bit to the left of that third base foul line. And what a big swing it would be on a strikeout here. What would have scored Dara would then be 2 outs with Dara remaining at second.
So the 2-2 count remains. Already 4 foul balls from Denton in this at-bat. puts that one in play, and it goes over the head of Sammy Lopez. Dara rounds third. He's coming home. The throw will not be warranted, and it's an RBI single for Ty Denton. Bucks now leading 3-0 in the fifth.
And like I said earlier, exactly what Denton needed to do. Just put one over the infield, get down, and not even a throw attempt home. Makes it a 3-0 lead. We are coming up on the cursed half inning that started many of the woes for the Bucks yesterday in the bottom of the fifth.
We shall not speak of it as of now until they're able to get past it, but for the time being, they've scored 3 runs off of 4 hits. Now Carson Umphreys steps in after drawing a walk his last time up. Cisneros with a long pause before delivering a fastball at the knees for strike 1. Humphreys still looking for his first hit of the evening. He's struck out and walked. 0-1 is hit sharply over in the left side of the infield, and that gets through. So it's back-to-back singles for the Bucks, and once again, a pair of base runners on for A.J. Garcia.
The Bucks have left a total of 8 runners on base this game, hoping to keep this trend going here of moving them over. Still only 1 out, so Garcia has an out to spare. If he puts one in right field, even if it's caught for the out, might be able to advance Denton if he tags up.
Shows bunt on the first pitch. Lays off as Denton took a very healthy lead, and Oakley almost caught him at second.
Yeah, Denton just getting back in time. Maybe lucky there wasn't a review possible on that.
Oakley has been very sound defensively behind the dish in the 2 games that he's started so far. Cisneros delivers ball 2 in the dirt to Garcia, who had an RBI sac fly into left field his last time up. Base hit would serve him a lot better here, though, with Denton, the furthest runner, on second. Hasn't needed to take the bat off his shoulders yet, as 3 straight balls to him for a 3-0 count have resulted in this at-bat so far. Cisneros trying to find the strike zone. 3-0, high for ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Camden Landfer, who has reached the base safely every single time thus far.
And this is the second time that the bases have been loaded for the Bucks. Really the third, however, with a tag up scoring at home. Left 3 on base back in the 4th inning. Only 1 out. And like you mentioned, Lamphere, who's been excellent at getting on base so far this game.
Has 2 singles and reached safely last inning on a fielder's choice, though Cisneros is able to deliver a first pitch strike on the fastball. Lamphere, one of just a few Bucks to play in every game to start the season. So it has Garcia. As the 0-1 is outside for ball 2. The runner over at first gets caught. A.J. Garcia was way off of the bag, and Reed Oakley saw him right out of the corner of his eye. His throw over to first was no problem and in time for the second out.
Reed Oakley has such an amazing arm. Has been able to put it exactly where it needs to be. Threw out 2 at second base the first game. Gets 1 over at first here today. I think the Bucks need to stay a little closer to the bag unless they are actively in pursuit of stealing one.
Lanfear got picked off at first yesterday in the first inning. Garcia picked off here in the 5th today. Lanfear now looking at a 2-1 count with 2 outs. That fastball able to grab the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Lanfear now down to his last strike.
And I think that was also a really good frame job from Oakley, as his wrist just snapped in at the catch. Looked maybe a little bit outside in terms of location, but gets the umpire to agree.
Lanfear lifts this one into right field. Hasencleaver giving chase, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So the Bucs load the bases. They're able to score 2 runs. Or excuse me, just the 1 run. As they lead 3-0 heading into the bottom of the 5th. We are a little more than halfway through the game, and I am a little more than halfway through my pulled pork sandwich, which we both agree is very good.
Yeah, no complaints whatsoever from me. I also was hungry, I will admit, but very, very good.
This is very true. Hunger can sometimes impact our food ratings as Reed Oakley takes strike 1 from Jonah Fragus, who is scoreless through 4. Has struck out 5 and only allowed 2 hits and only 2 total base runners. That pitch, though, hits Oakley square on the back, and he'll jog quickly over to first. The leadoff man is on for the first time today.
Even about 100 feet away, separated by a pane of glass, and with a headset on, I could hear that ball hit Reed Oakley's back. Certainly not a fun thing for Reed Oakley there. But he does get first base out of it, so a nice trade-off.
So now stepping up will be Sammy Lopez, the second baseman in today's game. He takes a swing at the first pitch, and it goes over the glove of Finn Leach. So back-to-back base runners to start things here in the 5th for the Oilers.
Good positioning from Drew Raymond and awareness to immediately head down once he saw that ball bouncing toward Finn Leach. It stops Oakley from being able to reach third.
So that'll bring up Shane Cannon, the shortstop. He struck out looking to lead things off in the 3rd. That's his only plate appearance here in today's game.
Yeah, he led off yesterday's game and has been moved down to the 8 hole.
Bunt attempt is perfect. And everybody reaches base safely. So after 4 scoreless innings from Jonah Fragus, he has now loaded the bases with nobody out.
And that was a little miscommunication between Hayden Miller and Fragus. Unsure who was going to attack that ball. Hayden Miller backed up thinking that Fragus was going to make a play on it. Unfortunately, neither one able to get there in time, and a nice bunt from Skinner.
So now the 9-hole hitter steps up to the plate in a big chance here with his team down 3 runs. First offering is up high for ball 1 to Luke Skinner, the third baseman, who struck out swinging back in the 3rd.
This is the first real trouble that Fragus has been in. No base runner has reached second yet up until now. Now with bases loaded, no outs.
First pitch is past the glove of a diving Hank Smith, and it goes all the way into shallow center field and will score a pair of runs. It hit off the runner, Shane Cannon, but it first hit off the glove of Hank Smith. A wild sequence of events there, as all of a sudden the Bucs now only lead by 1 run.
Yeah, been a few plays today and really all season where the ball has just bounced off the glove in the infield. Really hard to make a play at that point. And scores 2 runs, still no outs.
That'll force some action in the Bucs bullpen. A couple pitchers warming up. Looks like Caleb Okada is the first guy up, but Fragus able to calm some nerves with a first pitch strike to the leadoff batter, Mark Nellis. This was the exact same time yesterday when disaster struck for the Bucs. Fragus trying to find his way out of any more dangers. His bunt attempt goes right back to Fragus. He's able to fire over to first in time for out number 1. Skinner advances to second. So the sac bunt is successful to move the runner up 90 feet. Now Brooks Hossingcleaver steps up with 2 runners in scoring position, and this is a dangerous hitter for Jonah Fragus to face. He's the only player in this league with multiple homers. He's hit 2, has 4 RBIs on 5 hits. Has also walked an astounding 11 times. He is 0 for 2 today. First offering from Fragus misses down low for ball 1.
And even if he doesn't hit one out here, just putting one deep, especially as a left-handed batter into right field, would definitely score a runner and likely advance Luke Skinner from second to third. So a power hitter, great for the Oilers in this scenario.
He lifts that one into left field, going over to try to make a play is Dara. He won't be able to as it lands in the Bucs bullpen for strike 1.
Just on the other side of that fence. Probably would have been a little out of reach, but Dara also having to hold up as he approached the bullpen gate.
I wonder if he ran into the bullpen and made the catch, they would have given him the out. I don't know if that's considered out of play or not.
I feel like it would be an out if he catches it.
Tall task for him. He was right at the fence, so I don't think he would have had a play on it either way. But a 1-1 count to Hossingcleaver is hit up the middle and over the glove of Camden Lanfear. 1 run will score. Another one rounds third and is coming for a home. The play is not in time. And just like that, the Oilers score 4 runs and take a 4-3 lead.
And I was trying not to say anything during this inning, but again, this is the bottom of the 5th where the Bucs gave up an 8th spot in yesterday's game. And now 4 runs given up here as the Oilers take a 1-run lead.
Luke Lusky comes up to the plate. No mound visit yet from Kirk Strider. He's trusting in Fragus, his right-hander on the mound, who was looking untouchable through 4 innings, but has struggled here in the 5th. Lusky singled back in the 4th, his last time up. Hassencleaver remains on first. Fragus with the throw over to keep him there. But Hassencleaver not taking much of a lead. Doesn't seem to be a threat to steal a bag.
And it's been around this time that really every team has pulled their starting pitcher in the 4th or 5th inning, just because you don't want that pitch count to get too high and have any injury.
Lusky's hit into right field is gloved by Raymond for the second out, and that keeps Hassencleaver at first. So a big second out. That'll bring up the left fielder, Carson McCormack.
As I was saying, don't want to get that pitch count too high and get any injuries, so would have been good to already have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen in around the 4th inning, and could have just kept him warm for a little bit and come in for Fragus when he needed it, which would have been good right here.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the colleges with players in this league are closely looking at the box score, seeing what their pitchers are ranging around in terms of pitch count. Some of these guys are relievers, some of them starters for their schools. As Fragus gets a swing and miss to even up the count at 1 apiece to McCormack.
It's McCormack who's popped out to center his first time up, popped out to right his second time.
Fragus delivers the 1-1, and that rides inside and hits McCormack right on his left arm. It's the second time a batter's been hit in this inning. Bucs just 1 out away from getting out of this 5th, and now Kirk Strider will make his walk onto the mound. Not sure if this will be to pull Fragus just yet, as now he'll make a signal over to the bullpen. And it looks like that will be it for Fragus. Not able to go the full 5 innings. Now that'll bring Caleb Okada, one of the few left-handed pitchers out of this bullpen, onto the mound. So Okada will warm up. He came in the game on Tuesday and helped the Bucs take that 9-8 win.
Yeah, he pitched an inning and a third, had 0 runs, 0 hits during that time. Has proved himself to be a reliable reliever, especially during these middle innings, as he was the first pitcher to come in after John Carlson went 5 2/3.
So while Okada warms up, we'll take a quick step aside. Bucs down 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th. So Okada comes into the game. Only needs to get one out to get out of this 5th inning. It'll come against the designated hitter, Owen Musel. His first pitch is hit into the right center field gap. Garcia able to field it, but it will score a run. As McCormack advances over to third, and it's a 5 spot here in the bottom of the 5th with still one out remaining. So the Oilers have hit around here. Reed Oakley will step up for the 2nd time in this inning. He was the first to be hit by a pitch. Came around and scored that first run. Okada with a quick throw over to first to keep Musel there. Oakley with a chance to do some damage here. His team already up 2 runs. First offering from Okada upstairs for ball 1. Oakley has put together a nice game on both sides of the ball. Has singled and been hit by a pitch, has also picked off a runner behind the plate. 1-0 lands in the zone to even up the count at 1 apiece.
Good to see Okada get that first strike. Don't know how long he'll be in the game, if it's just to get this one out or if they'll keep him on the mound for the 6th, but just needs to get out of his head after giving up that 1 run and go ahead and get this out.
1-1 lands in the strike zone. Now a 1-2 count. Great location on the outer part of the plate there. So Okada now ahead in the count. Trying to get out of this inning. The 1-2. Down low for ball 2. And now the runner's caught in a pickle. The throw to home is in time. A double steal attempt by the Oilers is unsuccessful as Owen Musel warranted the throw from Denton. He threw over to second, but McCormack could not get a good enough jump at third. So the Oilers do not score a 6th run. The Bucs able to avoid a disaster. Will have some work to do in the top of the 6th, down by 2. Bucs trail 5-3 after 5 innings. as the leadoff man, Finn Leach, takes ball one down low.
Only gave up 5 this time in the bottom of the 5th. And pulled Fragus, only took up one extra pitcher in Okada. Yesterday went through Berghardt and Funk before ever recording an out, which they did with Andrew Haberman.
So I guess you could call it an improvement of yesterday. For now, though, the Bucs trying to answer after scoring runs in consecutive innings. Leach now behind in the count 1-2 after swinging and missing. Fouled off the last pitch. Cineris remains on the mound after coming in relief in the 4th. Now the 1-2 is hit weakly over towards first base. Lusky fields it and flips it to Cineris, who covers the bag and steps on for out number 1.
Great speed from Cineris, heading over to first as soon as he saw contact.
So now Drew Raymond steps in after trying a walk his last time up. He's still 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. First offering to him is hit sharply over to the first base bag, but it's going to wind up foul for strike 1. Raymond trying to help ignite this Bucs offense that has generated base runners in a hurry, but has struggled to bring them home. Faces a 0-1 count, now moving to 1-1 after the second offering is low and away.
Yeah, left 10 runners on base in total this game. You can imagine if just 5 of those, which is just half of them had come in to score, Bucs would still be up by a pretty significant margin.
Raymond takes strike 2 on the outer part of the plate. He's already gone down swinging twice. Trying to avoid a hat trick here. Here comes the 1-2. Strike 3 is called, swung and miss, and it's 3 swinging strikeouts for Raymond on the day.
Certainly a performance he'll want to forget. Hope that Kirk Schreider keeps him in on the lineup and just allows him to get out of this short little slump he's going through.
So now Hank Smith steps up to the plate. Quick 2 outs for the Bucs in the top of the 6th. Smith lays off that fastball, which was up and away for ball 1. Swings and misses at the next offering. That one was also upstairs, not too different from the first pitch he saw. For the time being, it looks like Okada will be the one to come back up in the 6th inning. There's no action in the Bucs bullpen just yet as Smith fouls one backing out of play for strike 2.
Yesterday when the Bucs gave up those 8 runs, they were able to bounce back with 2 of their own down to their final strike here in the top of the 6th. Would love to be able to respond a little bit.
Now the 1-2 called strike 3. Smith goes down looking for the first time today. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cineris. His team up 5-3 heading into the bottom of the 6th. You're listening here on the Bucs YouTube channel. So Okada remains on the mound. Reed Oakley steps back up to the plate after the failed stolen base attempt that ended the 5th inning. Bucs trying to avoid going down more than 2 runs. First offering is hit over to short. Lanfear there fields it and throws over to first in time for a quick out number 1.
Good mentally for Okada to go ahead and get that first out. Didn't give up any runs of his own as the base runners that were already on base go to Fragus, but still gave up a hit his first batter he saw. Now here in the bottom of the 6th, bouncing back with an immediate ground out to short.
Second baseman Sammy Lopez steps in. He singled and scored just an inning ago as he takes ball 1 down low. Lopez just his 3rd plate appearance so far. Went for a bunt attempt there, but pulled away with the fastball upstairs at about his eye level. Hayden Miller over at 3rd base now on edge if Lopez decides to try and bunt again. Here comes the 2-0 from Okada, and that's even closer to Lopez, who has to duck out of the way for ball number 3.
Okada losing a little bit of control here. He's going to take a moment, rub some dirt on his hand, try and get some control, and attack the strike zone. 3-0. Likely won't be a swing from Oakley.
3-0, he almost went, but it's a strike that finds its way into the zone. Now a 3-1 count. Seems to be a little bit of movement in the Bucs bullpen. Nobody throwing just yet. Lopez fouls that one off, and Okada has worked the count back to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Oilers up 5-3. Here comes the payoff pitch. That's hit over towards second base. Leach can't get to it in time, so it's a 1-out base hit for Lopez.
Unfortunate for Okada, who had worked his way back up really nicely, was down in the count 3-0. Gets a strike and a foul ball for 3-2, and giving up that base hit. Now a little pressure on the lefty from Hawaii.
He'll face shortstop Shane Cannon, who is batting 8th in this lineup. A lot of right-handed batters in this Oilers batting order as Okada delivers his first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Usually with the amount of right-handed batters in this lineup, you would think the Bucs would go to a right-handed pitcher to kind of give him that advantage, but they decide to go with Okada. He misses for ball 2. Cannon drew a walk and came around to score his last time up. 2-0 upstairs and 3 straight balls, 2nd time in a row that the Oilers have had a 3-0 count.
Obviously, last time he worked his way back to make it full, but getting down 3-0, not something you can do consistently as a pitcher.
Tries to pick off Lopez with a quick throw over to first. He's able to do that because he is looking right at first when he goes into his windup, can see if Lopez is getting any ideas over there. But it doesn't matter as the 3-0 miss is high, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Cannon to put 2 runners on with just 1 gone. So now the 9-hole hitter, Luke Skinner, comes up to the plate. He'll get some quick words of wisdom from his third base coach before stepping into the box.
One thing about the Oilers, their hats are the old school Philadelphia Phillies P. And I didn't realize that when I got here originally. And I saw all these hats, and I was like, dang, there are a lot of Phillies fans here in Alaska. Turns out the P is for Peninsula. Who would have thought?
Maybe that's where they got the idea of their mascot Scoop, trying to make him look like Philly fanatic.
They do have an in-person mascot who comes out between the top and the bottom of the first, though seems to disappear later in the game. Haven't really seen him in a few innings.
He may be just out of our field of vision as well. We never know.
It's better than the human Subway sandwich at the Chinooks game.
This is true. Bunt attempt from Skinner is pulled back with the pitch riding inside for ball one. If anybody wants to dress up as a pirate and go to Bucs games, I'm sure there's an opportunity there for you.
DM the Anchorage Bucs on YouTube. Or excuse me, on Instagram.
1-0 from Okada. Another bunt attempt that is pulled back, and now Kirk Schreider will stride out to the mound and try to calm down his left-handed pitcher.
There's another lefty warming up. Hard to tell exactly who it is from here in the Bucs bullpen. Won't come out just yet, as Schreider will talk to Okada first, see if maybe he can get out of this inning.
Yeah, the Bucs weren't really prepared to have a pitcher warmed up and ready, so they'll need a little more time before their next arm is ready. Schreider's hoping that Okada can buy him some time.
Luckily, with two runners on, you can get the force at any of the three bases, and if quick enough, can get a throw over to either second or first for a double play. So that's still a possibility here. This inning could be over in just a pitch.
Okada's first pitch of the inning was a well-hit grounder over to short. It's exactly the kind of play Okada's hoping for here, which would be a very easy double play ball if fielded well enough. But a bunt attempt is fielded by Miller. His throw over to first is in time. So the sac bunt is successful, but the Bucs are able to handle this one a lot better than last inning to get a crucial second out. So the runners move up to second and third, and that will bring the lineup back to the top of the order for Mark Nellis. He was the man to lay the sac bunt just an inning ago. As Okada is 1 out away from avoiding disaster. First offering misses down low for ball one to Nellis, who is yet to reach base safely. Struck out and grounded out his first two times up before that sac bunt. Next offering misses downstairs for ball two. Two-0 count from Okada. Misses upstairs for ball three, and now he's in danger of loading the bases. First base is open. Okada trying to avoid putting him there, and he can. It's a 4-pitch walk to Mark Nellis. And that loads the bases for Hasencleaver.
Hasencleaver last time up hit a single and would eventually make his way around home. And a call to the bullpen here from Kirk Schreider. Interesting going from one lefty to another. Obviously, Okada losing a little bit of control. As that is his second walk this inning. Sometimes you just want to give the batter something new to look at. Obviously, Fragus, a righty, going from him to Okada made sense. Still can't quite tell who's coming onto the mound here.
So we'll have more information after this quick break when we find out who the lefty is. So it's Wyatt Schottle on the mound for the Bucs, trying to get this final out with the bases loaded in the bottom of the sixth. Is coming off of 3 days of rest, through an inning against the Chinooks on Sunday, did not give up a hit or a run. He'll be tasked with trying to get out Brooks Hassencleaver. His first pitch rides way outside. Ty Denton just barely able to keep that one from going to the backstop.
Would have been a bit of a disaster if it had. We've definitely scored the runner at third. It was going way outside. And this backstop is very flat as it gets towards the outside. Very long way away.
So 1-0 count to Hassencleaver. Next offering is much closer, but not able to clip the strike zone. Hassencleaver singled and scored his last time up. That pitch misses for ball 3, and Schottle in danger of walking home a run.
Not what you want out of the guy just pulled out from the bullpen. Hoping to deliver a few strikes. Now with 3-0, see what he can do here.
The 3-0 from Schottle is inside for ball 4. Schottle not able to find the strike zone in his first at-bat, and that'll walk home a run. So the Bucs not able to put up a 0 on the scoreboard in the bottom of the 6th. The inning continues, and now Luke Lusky steps up to the plate. Fouls the first offering into the netting behind home plate for strike 1. Lusky flew out to right field his last time up. A result that Schottle and the Bucs would be more than happy with. Next pitch misses down low for ball 2. Or excuse me, for ball one, and that'll even up the count. Schottel awaits the sign from Denton. He will receive it and now come set. Here comes the 1-1. Grabs the inside part of the plate for strike two.
Good location from Schottel. Great way to bounce back here in this at-bat so far. After a 4-pitch walk, only a strike away from heading to the dugout and getting back on offense for the Bucs.
Here comes the 1-2 from Schottel. Can't grab the outside part of the plate. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Was that close to getting strike 3.
Yeah, good eye from Lusky. Just almost clipped that outer portion of the plate.
2-2 down low for ball 3, and the count runs full. Schottel trying to keep the Bucs within striking distance. Here comes the payoff pitch from him. It's popped up and it'll wind up foul and out of play.
The runners are taking off with the pitch with a full count, 2 outs. Pretty much anything that Lusky's able to put into play, going to drive in at least a run, likely 2.
Another payoff pitch from Schottel. This one's hit foul, so we'll do it over once again. Lusky just trying to stay alive. Has reached base safely his last 2 plate appearances, trying to make it 3 in a row. The 3-2 from Schottel once more. It's a broken bat. Fielded cleanly by Lanfear, and his throw is in time to first, so Schottel is able to limit the damage to just 1 run. Bucs now trailing by 3 heading into the 7th. New pitcher on the mound for the Oilers. It'll be the right-hander Killian DeMayo. First batter he faces is Ryan Dara, who hits one up the middle, and it takes a hop over the glove of the shortstop Shane Cannon, so it'll be a leadoff single on the first pitch Dara sees.
A really tough hop for Cannon to play there, as it just had a weird spin coming off the bat, and also added a little bit more as it goes over the mound. DeMayo just barely unable to make a play on it.
So Dara reaches safely to lead things off in the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Hayden Miller, who takes a first pitch strike on the inside part of the plate. Miller, his last time up, struck out swinging. His reached base twice, drawing a walk and a hit by pitch. One slider winds up in the other batter's box to even up the count. I have a timeout called here, as Miller will reset in the batter's box. Here comes the 1-run from DeMayo, and that's lined foul for strike 2. DeMayo with a bit of an odd sidearm delivery. Has that righty-on-righty advantage with Miller. Still looking for his first out of the 7th. One, two, misses upstairs, and that'll even up the count once again.
Miller also started things off in the 4th inning, got hit by a pitch, and came around to score. It's one of the 2 runs to score that inning.
Hits that one foul once again, right over towards the Bucs bullpen. They're able to get out of the way and avoid that one. Count remains 2-2 to Miller. Dara over there at first has already stolen a bag. Doesn't steal here as the check swing from Miller winds up in another foul ball.
Wanted to hold back a little bit on that one. Fortunately, it had already gone too far around and just taps off his bat. Heads foul toward the Oilers dugout.
Likely would have been ball 3 with it being pretty high up as the runner goes. The call is a ball, and Dara is in there safely. So the count runs full. Dara is able to advance. A win-win scenario for the Bucs.
Second stolen base for Dara, showing off his speed, and another really great throw from Reed Oakley. If it weren't for a great leadoff from Dara and a great go, likely would have been thrown out.
Dara is the only one to successfully steal a bag twice against Oakley, who has been very sharp with runners on, but now we'll see if the stolen bag from Dara was needed with the payoff pitch coming from DeMayo. It was not. Miller draws a walk, so the first 2 batters of the inning for the Bucs reach safely.
Obviously, Dara would have made it to second there with the walk, but I'd like to think that Dara's steal got in the head of DeMayo. It just makes him think a little bit more now, has something to worry about straight behind him and the speed of Dara. Now 2 runners on here, no outs in the top of the 7th.
It's very true. Every pitch is a mental battle. As Denton holds up on the swing there, but fastball lands in the zone for strike 1 anyways. Denton singled and drove in a run his last time around in the 5th. Bucs could sure use something like that here. 0-1 is hit between shortstop and third. Dara will hold up, so the bases will be loaded with nobody out. Denton delivering with a single to load the bases.
His second single in a row. And hit a little too hard into left for Dara to head home. As head coach as well as third base coach Kirk Schreider stops him in his tracks.
Now Carson Humphries up to the plate. Big chance here for him to try and chip into this deficit. Bucs trailing by 3 runs. He lays off of that pitch for ball 1. Before his at-bat, he looked over at Kirk Schreider, who gave him a hand signal to just calm down and not be over-aggressive in this at-bat. Still 3 outs to work with for the Bucs. The second pitch rides inside for ball 2.
Humphries 6'6" and a big frame. Has a lot of power behind the bat. Might be able to put one into the outfield.
So after 2 balls to Humphries, quick mound visit for the Pilots, who are trying to calm down their newest reliever out of Johnson University in Tennessee. Made 11 appearances for 13 2/3 innings of work. Gave up 9 runs, only 6 of those were earned on 15 hits. Struck out 10 batters, walked 7. Is 1-0 in 2 appearances so far here for the Oilers. Has not allowed an earned run thus far. Has a 2-0 count to Humphries right now. Next offering upstairs for ball 3.
Great layoff from Humphries. Didn't quite drop like DeMeo wanted it to. Humphries able to read that the whole way. And a 3-0 count.
3-0 misses for ball 4, so it's a 4-pitch walk. Dara comes across the plate. Bucs now down by just 2. So a chance for the Bucs to do some damage here. Bases remain juiced. Nobody out just yet. 2 walks and 2 singles thus far, with AJ Garcia up to bat. First offering to him misses, as DeMeo running into some trouble here.
Garcia had a sac fly with runners on second and third back in the 4th inning. Can maybe get some of that going again here, driving a run.
That pitch from him is hit foul and out of play. That'll even up the count at 1 apiece. It's Miller on third, Denton on second. As that goes right back to the pitcher. He throws over to home in time. The throw to first is also in time, so it's a double play. 1, 2, 3 double play. No run score and 2 outs now in the inning.
That's a really good double play. Reed Oakley has a great arm and able to get it right there before Garcia reaches first. Also great awareness from DeMeo, knowing there's the force out at home. No run score for the Bucs. Back to the top of the lineup.
First pitch to to Camden Lanfear is in there for strike 1.
It's also a 1-2-3 double play.
Score remains 6-4 Oilers. Second offering from DeMeo is a slider that misses inside. Lanfear is 2 for 4 with a pair of singles. Has also reached base safely on a fielder's choice, but he flew out to right field his last time up. Has a 1-1 count now. That advances to 1-2 with that fastball right at the knees in the lower half of the strike zone. Lanfear with runners on second and third trying to tie this game up, but he can't do that. Slider, he swings and misses on for strike 3. So after loading the bases with no outs, the only run the Bucs can get is off of a walk. They still trail by 2 as we have reached the 7th inning stretch. So the Bucs unable to do more damage than they wanted. Had the bases loaded with nobody out, but could only register a run as they still trail 4-6 in the bottom of the 7th. Carson McCormack leads things off for the Oilers. Schottel remains on the mound, and first 2 pitches are outside now at a 2-0 count. Fastball there, misses down low. Now Schottel in danger of walking the leadoff man.
Cormack, the man who got picked off at home after the double steal attempt that ended the 6th inning, or excuse me, was just in the 5th inning.
Schottel's able to find the strike zone there. He's going to try to do it again. And he can. McCormack started walking towards first thinking that it was ball 4. Close call remains in the count being run full. Here comes the payoff pitch from Schottel. That's hit over towards Shirt, gloved cleanly by Lanfear. His throw to first is in time. So a great way to battle back in that one for a quick first out.
Lanfear has made some really excellent plays defensively. That one a little more routine, but still able to come up and attack the ball as it comes toward him. Get the throw off in time. Hank Smith barely having to move his glove. Just little things like that make it so easy on your pitcher. Don't put any runners on that don't have to be there.
So now Owen Musil steps in and takes strike 1. Schottel having much better command of his pitches now after starting off with 3 straight balls to McCormack. Musil singled back in the 5th. Was one of just 2 batters to not see any pitches in the 6th, as he's now down in the count 0-2 after a pair of strikes from Schottel. Another delivery from him, and that misses in the dirt and into the other batter's box for ball 1. 1-2 count to the designated hitter, Musil. One, two is fouled off. Musil able to stay alive in the count.
Musil, the DH, just trying to get a hit here, keep this momentum going. The Oilers have scored in each of their last 2 innings, currently hold a 2-run lead.
Here comes a 1-2 from Schottel. Swung on and missed for strike 3. First punch out for Schottel, and the first one that the Bucs have been able to force since the 3rd inning. So the first 2 batters are retired, and that'll bring up the catcher, Reed Oakley. Oakley grounded out to short to start things off in the 6th. The first offering from Schottel misses down and away.
Schottel looking a lot more comfortable this inning. His first at-bat he saw was a 4-pitch walk. So far establishing a little more dominance here in the 7th.
Fastball is upstairs to about the chest level of Oakley. Trying to find that command once again. Now he's down in the count 2-0. He'll come set and deliver. That pitch inside, and another 3-0 count from Schottel. It's a 4-pitch walk to Reed Oakley, who reaches base safely with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th.
Really would have just loved to see Schottel give him something to swing at, put it into play, and maybe get an out. With no runners on, you don't really run the risk of driving anyone in, and home runs are very hard to come by in the ABL, as we've learned through the first 9 games.
Fastball misses outside to Sammy Lopez, who singled and scored in each of the last 2 innings. Schottel trying to keep the Oilers off of the scoreboard for the first time since the 4th inning. Is 1-0 upstairs for ball 2.
That's 6 straight balls from Schottel. Just losing the command a little bit. These batters, especially Oakley and now Lopez, have not really thought about swinging much.
Here comes the 2-0 from him. He's able to find the strike zone on that one. That moves the at-bat with now a hitter's count. Lopez is 2 for 3 on the day. Schottel trying to make that 2 for 4. Gets a swing and miss there, and that'll even up the count. Schottel now 1 strike away from a scoreless 7th frame.
That's a really good pitch there on the outside. Little bit off speed. Lopez expecting something faster coming down.
Slider just misses outside, and the count has run full to Lopez. Schottel 1 strike away from getting out of the inning and stranding the runner at first. Gives a look over to Reed Oakley as his payoff pitch. Called strike 3 at the knees. Lopez goes down looking, and Schottel retires the side. Bucks now down to their last 6 outs with a pair of runs staring at them as their current deficit. Finn Leach leads things off here in the 8th. Bucks able to keep this a 2-run game. So it'll be 2, 3, and 4 due up for them in the 8th. First offering from DeMayo is a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Leach pops the next offering up over and out of play. So that'll be an 0-2 count to Leach, who is yet to record a base hit but has reached base safely on a fielder's choice and a walk.
Just a little behind on that fastball from DeMayo. He can time that up a little better. Would have been a nice hit into the outfield for a single.
Here comes the 0-2. That's hit over towards third. Skinner can't field it cleanly, though, as the throw goes over the head of first baseman Luke Lusky, and Finn Leach will jog into second. An errant throw. Skinner had no chance of getting Leach. Was probably better off holding on to that ball. So an early threat on the base pass for the Bucks. They already have a runner in scoring position, still with no outs. Leach has found a way to reach base in every way except a hit. A fielder's choice, a walk, and now an error. As Raymond takes ball 1. Raymond 0 for 3 with a hat trick of strikeouts, has drawn a walk as well. He's now ahead in the count 2-0. Swings and misses at the next offering. Was an off-speed pitch that he wasn't able to slow down.
That was a nice swing from Raymond, able to shake off the first 2 outside the zone in a good eye. Just unfortunately, the speed fooled him a little bit and was a little early.
He's able to knock that one over towards first. Lusky fields it cleanly, but it advances the runner to third. So Leach stands just 90 feet away from home plate with 1 gone.
And the Bucks will take that exchange, advancing the runner, getting the out, especially in a close game like this with 2 runs. Hank Smith coming up, representing the tying run with a runner just 90 feet away
We've talked about how hard it is to hit homers in this league. If there's a guy on this team that can do it, he might be Smith. He doesn't have a homer on the year, but yesterday he had a deep fly out and then a home run that landed just foul. Has shown off a lot of power as he hits that one into center field. It'll be caught for out number 2. Leach will tag. The throw is not in time. So an RBI sac fly from Hank Smith brings the Bucs within a run.
Again, it's small ball from the Bucs so far. Advancing the runner from second to third, and then one more time on a fly out.
Now up to the plate with 2 gone is Ryan Dara, the left fielder. He singled and came around to score in the 7th. It's the first pitch he sees foul. And right now, that 7th inning is starting to be the difference for the Bucs. They have the bases loaded with nobody out and could only score just 1 run. The slider from DeMayo just misses inside to even up the count.
It's a really slow moving pitch. Just barely outside of the strike zone.
1-1 is hit well out towards right field. Going back on it is Hassencleaver, and he's able to make the catch for a crucial 3rd out. Dara that close to an extra base hit, but he'll head back to the dugout. It'll be a new pitcher on the mound for the Bucs, who trail 6-5 midway through the 8th inning. So it'll be Luke McLeod on the mound for the Bucs here in the bottom of the 8th. And in a close game like this seems to be the guy that the Bucs want on the mound.
Yeah, back in the 2nd game of the season against the Chinooks, had a huge outing, pitched 2 1/3 inning, hit the game-winning RBI triple. He can do a little bit of everything, and now a right-handed pitcher after 2 straight lefties in Okada and Schottel.
First offering from him is in there for strike 1, and with how many right-handed batters are in this lineup for the Oilers, this seems to be the right direction. as Shane Cannon takes strike one. He's able to foul off the next pitch for now a quick 0-2 count. As McLeod, through 3 scoreless innings back in that second game, earned the save, struck out 3 batters. Also had that game-winning RBI triple. He's ahead in the count to the leadoff man. Drops in strike 3 on the slider, just completely slowed it down and froze Cannon for out number 1.
Really great sequence of pitches there. 2 fastballs, gets Cannon's timing in a particular spot, and then just slowing it down with that slider, dropping it right in the strike zone. Cannon had no answer for it. Said something to Skinner, the batter here on his way up, perhaps saw something or gave him a little piece of advice to face McLeod.
One of the few left-handed batters takes strike 1, fastball on the outer part of the plate. He had the successful sacrifice bunt in the 6th inning, helped bring home what is currently the winning run. As he takes ball 1 down low to even up the count. Bucs have scored runs in consecutive innings, are trying to keep the Oilers at bay. The fastball high and outside, now a 2-1 hitter's count to the 9-hole hitter Skinner. Next offering swung on and missed for strike 2. McLeod trying to record back-to-back Ks to start things here in the 8th.
That pitch didn't sink like Skinner thought it was going to. Swung a little low, and the ball just tips over the bat.
2-2, got away from McLeod, way upstairs for ball 3 to run the count full. Here comes the payoff pitch from McLeod. That is chopped foul along the first base line, so we'll do it again. Skinner able to stay alive and see another pitch.
Fastball there from McLeod. Getting a little ahead of that one that time was Skinner.
See if McLeod slows it down like he did against Cannon. Another payoff pitch, he did, but it was up high for ball 4. So a 1-out walk from Skinner brings the top of the order back up, Mark Nellis.
Nellis walked his last time up and eventually reached second after a second straight walk. Would like to not see that happen here. Would love for McLeod to have a clean inning and the Bucs to be back on offense.
First offering rides way inside and almost hits Nellis. Skinner was taking a couple strides towards second, thought about stealing, but he held up. Not sure if McLeod saw that. Skinner takes a couple more shuffles away from the bag. Next pitch from McLeod, fastball that is in there and will even up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Oilers leading by 1. Bucs trying to keep it that way. McLeod will throw back over to first. Skinner dives back in time. Skinner on the year hasn't been able to show off too much of his speed. Just 1 stolen base in his 5th game of action. McLeod dropping in strike 2 against Nellis.
See if he can stay aggressive on these pitches here. Might throw one away to try and get a swing. Would love to see him just keep attacking the strike zone, however. He's been effective in the zone.
For the 1-2, we'll get another throw over to first. Skinner also stole 7 bases in 47 games with Bradley University. Was teammates with Bucs players A.J. Garcia and Hayden Miller this year. 1-2 is hit over towards third. The throw to second is in time. Over to first. Can't make the play. It bounces over the glove of Smith, and heading over to second will be Mark Nellis. So the Bucs are unable to turn the double play cleanly, and the Oilers keep the inning alive.
Had to rush the throw there. Unfortunately, just didn't have quite enough oomph under it to get it to first base. And that would have been a really phenomenal double play to end the inning. McLeod now needing to get one more here in Hassan Cleaver, who's been dangerous offensively.
Last 2 plate appearances, he's walked and hit a single. Later came around to score. Was one of 5 runs to cross the plate in the 5th inning. That remains the difference right now. First offering from McLeod is a fastball outside for ball 1. They officially score the last play as a fielder's choice and an error by the second baseman, Finn Leach. McLeod with a couple looks over at second before delivering the 1-0, and that is up high for ball 2.
It's tough for McLeod when you can feel that double play coming, getting that first out at second base, and seems like everything was timed up pretty well in the throw to first. Fortunately, just a little low. Really demoralizing for McLeod having to stay out there.
He did everything right. He forced the ground out. Now he misses 3 straight balls to Hassan Cleaver. Bucs trying to get themselves out of this inning. Play with just a 1-run deficit in the top of the 9th. 3-0 misses for ball 4, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Hassan Cleaver.
No one warming up in the Bucs bullpen. We'll likely see McLeod in the 9th if it comes to that. The Bucs would have to take the lead in the top of the 9th in order for that to happen.
So now Luke Lusky comes up to the plate. Grounded out to short his last time up. First offering to him inside near the hands for ball 1. It's the 5th time around in the order for the Oilers. One know is a slider that drops in the zone for strike 1.
Same pitch he threw to Cannon for the strikeout looking. Seems to go to that one. He needs a strike quickly.
He's had good command of that off-speed pitch. Even better command on that one is Lusky swung and missed for strike 2.
Might have been just a little bit outside the zone, but it just left at the tail end of the pitch, enough to fool Lusky. And down to their final strike here in the bottom of the 8th.
McLeod 1 strike away from stranding a pair of base runners. Here it comes, and that one's fouled and out of play. A quick foul ball. Any bleachers over there, they got to watch out. So we'll do the 1-2 again with Lusky, who is 1 for 4 on the day. Trying to keep this inning alive. 1-2 from McLeod, swung on and missed for strike 3. So he strands the pair of base runners, and now the Bucs down to their last 3 outs. They will not see a new pitcher for the time being. There are a couple arms warming up in the pen, but it will likely be DeMayo to try and close things out. So the Bucs are down to their last 3 out. The new pitcher on the mound will be the right-hander Kevin O'Pannell. Due up for the Bucs is 6, 7, and 8. Miller, the third baseman, the catcher Denton, and the DH Carson Humphris. The first offering to Miller misses for ball 1.
Yeah, down to the final 3 outs here. Not needing any heroes, just needing guys to do their job, get on base, and let the guy behind you advance you.
Check swing from Miller. He went around, so that'll even up the count at 1 apiece. Miller has drawn 2 walks, been hit by a pitch and struck out. Has virtually everything but a hit. 1-1 slider that freezes Miller and just drops in the zone for strike 2. Here comes the 1-2 from O'Pannell. In there for strike 3. Miller goes down looking. So that'll be the first out of the 9th, and that'll bring up Ty Denton.
Just a really great pitch on the inside from O'Pannell. Gets Miller looking. Now here with Ty Denton, who has done pretty well today. Has 2 singles and a hit by pitch as well as a strikeout.
Slider from O'Pannell is in there for strike 1. He already has 2 saves in 2 appearances. So he is their go-to closer here in the early going.
Looks like Craig Kimbrell with that stance right before the pitch.
Thought the exact same thing as he gets a swing and miss from Denton. Now quickly ahead in the count 0-2. Went to Monmouth University this year, was second team all conference with a 4.14 ERA. A 5-1 record in 19 appearances through 45 innings, so he was a big arm for them. And he's showing it off here with the Oilers. Denton down in the count 0-2. That offering down in the dirt for ball one.
Great take from Denton. Can be hard with 2 strikes to control your bat. Feel like you have to make a play there, so if you don't, you're going to go down looking. Able to read that pitch as it goes down to the dirt before it reaches home.
O'Panel shakes off a few pitches before deciding on one. The 0-2 is inside to even up the count. Bucks trying to come back, trailing by 1 here in the top of the 9th. 2-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs to start things here in the 9th.
It'll be up to Carson Umphris, the DH, to keep the Bucks alive. It's down to their final out. Umphris has 2 walks, a single, and a strikeout in the game today. Most recently walked in the 7th inning.
Slider able to grab the lower corner for strike 1. Umphris has reached base safely 3 times, trying to make it a 4th. 0-1 is chopped foul, and now Bucks are down to their final strike. They've scored 1 run in consecutive innings, trying to do at the very least that to keep this game alive. 0-2 outside for ball 1, not able to get Umphris to chase on that slider.
Again, a good take. Started like it was heading toward the zone, but with that slider just creeping out toward the opposite.
Once again, misses down low. Try to get Umphris to chase once again, but smartly he's laying off. On deck will be the pitcher, Luke McLeod, trying to do it all once again for the Bucks. He'll need Umphris to reach safely if he has a chance to do that. 2-2, called strike 3. Umphris goes down looking, and the comeback attempt falls short. Oilers able to fend off the Bucks as they walk away with a 6-5 win. Almost all of their production once again coming in the 5th inning.
Obviously not the outcome the Bucks wanted, but it's so funny how baseball can be. After getting run ruled yesterday, losing by only 1 here today, just goes to show that truly anything can happen anytime. The Bucks fall to 2-6, but definitely saw some improvement in today's game, especially from these pitchers who all had pretty good outings. Fragus being the best of them all, and then McLeod coming in at the end, only giving up 1.
So that'll do it. Bucks still have one last chance to try and salvage this 4-game road trip up to the city of Kenai. They trail the quote-unquote series 2-1. The final and 4th game will be played tomorrow at the same time, 6:30 will be your first pitch. For Ren Grimsley, I'm Jake Sloan. We thank you for tuning into the Bucks YouTube channel. Your final, Bucks 6, Oilers 5. Or excuse me, Bucks 5, Oilers 6.
Dude, the worst call I've ever had in my life